It's New Year's Eve, and the last thing Spid wants to do is celebrate. Now Spidmas is over, he feels unloved and unappreciated. But just as Spid is thinking he'll never make anything of himself, Bid comes up with an idea that changes everything. "Great spidding sausages!" Spid exploded. A brown envelope had just shot through Spid's letterbox. When Spid opened it, his heart sank into his newly polished shoes. It was a huge electricity bill. "Why do I always have to get huge bills straight after Spidmas?" he moaned. "I've spent all my money on presents, not to mention on scrumptious Spidmasy food. How do these electricity spidlings think I can afford this?" It was the day before New Year's Eve, and Spid wasn't feeling Spidmasy anymore. He was feeling miserable. He always felt a little sad when Spidmas was over and all the celebration food had been eaten, but this year he felt worse than ever. "I work so hard," he moaned, "and no one ever thanks me for it. My workmates barely speak to me, and no matter how many hours I work, I never seem to have enough money." With a gloomy face, Spid shuffled into the hallway, where he kept his bike. He looked at the bike and sighed. The tyres needed pumping up before he could cycle to work, but he was too fed up to bother. He looked towards his front door and sighed again. Getting his bike out of the house was more difficult now than it used to be. Bid had given him a grandfather clock for Spidmas. Grandfather clocks are quite large. The only place it would fit was in his hallway. Even there, the clock took up far too much room. Now it was a real tussle and a squeeze for Spid to get his bike to the front door. By the time he'd managed it each morning, he felt as if he'd done a day's work already. Not only that, but unfortunately, the clock always chimed at Spid night and woke him up. Leaving his bike where it was, Spid squeezed out of his house and went to work. "No wonder I'm always so tired," he thought. The next day, it was New Year's Eve. On this last day of the year, Spid was allowed to finish work early. This should have made him feel more cheerful. But today, it just didn't. As he trudged home, he passed McSpid's. Through the window, he could see other Spidlings smiling and having fun. They munched on wasp burgers and sipped arachna cola and spider cider. "Spid thought, it's all right for you in there,